Nigel, Tata Steel is down 1.5.
Indeed, Lata, that debt worry seems to be worrying them. And Credit Suisse, as you pointed out earlier, they have been the biggest bear on the street. They haven't moved on the price target of 210 in the last 1 year odd. They maintained their underweight stance. They believe that in fact the debt upon EBITDA will be at 5 times in the next year, but that's come in earlier because the debt has gone up, the cash in the books has gone down, though the EBITDA has gone up. And also going ahead, they believe that in fact watch out for China because the turnaround over there signifies that in fact Tata Steel has to deleverage their books as soon as possible. Otherwise that debt is going to go up. And a quick word with regard to the valuations in comparison with its peers. Tata Steel trades at around 7 times, JSW Steel trades at around 6 times, while SAIL trades at around 10 times. Now JSW Steel, all the bad news is already in the price, while Tata Steel, that Shah Commission report as well, is a big overhang for the stock.
Okay, Nimesh, your MSCI stocks, Zee Ent, Tech Mahindra, and more importantly, why is HDFC Bank not bothered?
Well, as far as HDFC Bank is concerned, the general feedback from most of the dealers whom I spoke to is that nothing will happen in this particular review. They'll wait till the March review, by when, if there is no change in the FIP stance, then you might see HDFC Bank getting removed from the MSCI. So maybe that's the reason why you're not seeing a big reaction on that particular stock. As far as Zee is concerned, that's one stock which is a consensus view from most brokerages that this will be deleted from the MSCI. So watch out for that particular stock. And as I said earlier, Nestle, from a positive point of view, some $40 to $50 million of inflows will come because of the weightage increase. But the big stock to watch out will be Tech Mahindra. That's been a big outperformer of late. That stock can see the weightage getting cut to half. In that sense, you might see a sell-off of close to $50 million in that stock. So you might have to wait and see for these stocks to react. But if the HDFC Bank per se may not see a big reaction because the hope is that nothing will come in this review. The MSCI will wait till the March review. By then, if they get the FIP approval, they don't have to either delete or cut the weightage in HDFC Bank.
Ekta, Orchid Chemicals is up in an upper circuit of close to about 5%. This trade is not disturbed despite it posting a loss.
Absolutely not, Rima, because the loss is much lower on a year-on-year as well as on a sequential basis. So actually it's a positive that the loss is lower this quarter, and especially on the fact that the revenue and the EBITDA have turned around. So it's an operational beat for Orchid Chemicals this quarter. Remember, last quarter was extremely dismal. They had an EBITDA loss. They had a loss on the bottom line of around 200 crores. So compared to that, margins of 29% and revenues rising 18.5% on a year-on-year basis, and the net loss reducing to 54 crores versus 200 crores on a sequential basis, and versus 72.4 crores on a year-on-year basis is definitely a positive, because there is some amount of confidence which the company is possibly looking at in terms of at least on the margin picture as well as on the revenue picture. And in fact, this quarter they've cut their total expenditure by 9%, and hence you've seen the margins come in at that hefty 29%. So that is actually a good performance for Orchid Chemicals, and it was, remember, written off as a beleaguered company, but it seems as though they have definitely turned around for this quarter. In particular, sustainability would be the key issue for Orchid.
Well, absolutely, handsome improvement in margins, we'll have to say. Thank you, Ekta and Nimesh. Before I come to Mangalore Chemicals, Ushang, it was 4.5% higher, now 1.6% higher. Just a word before that on Muthoot and Manappuram. They are the high-flying ones with 6.3% and 6.5% gains. At the moment, that looks an extremely speculative move. This kind of gains in both, simply because the Commerce Secretary said that he would look at, he would request that gold import duties be brought down. My own sense is both the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank will hardly want to take that kind of a risk at this point in time. We have just seen two jitters, a week ago, 2 days ago, which had two big casualties in the Turkish lira and the Argentinian devaluation. It's hardly likely that, with the fears of the second round of tapering just behind your back, they would want to do anything in terms of allowing more gold imports. This looks like an extremely speculative move. Of course, the very legitimate banking or very legitimate reasoning that people have is before the elections, the government will want to win just that one more constituency. In India is a big gold buyer, so trying to make gold 10 rupees cheaper or 50 rupees cheaper would be in the government's interest, but that may be playing with fire. I find it extremely unlikely that the government would do anything on those lines. My chat with the Finance Ministry doesn't seem to indicate any confidence on that score. But before Anuj, I let you go, Ushang, Last word on Mangalore Chemicals?
These were excellent numbers. So as of now, whether the stock is higher by 1.5% or this can be likely on back of some profit taking which might be coming in as of now. But we can expect the stock to rise higher, and these were really excellent good numbers, like PAT going up almost 4 times odd, and the sales also gaining almost 21%. So good numbers over there.
Okay, thanks a lot, all of you. Let me keep Anuj back. Anuj, any further comment on the way the stocks have moved or the index has moved? It's given us nothing.
Yeah.
6,090 to 6,085.
There's some buying in ICICI Bank, I think, which would enthuse the bulls. That's a top nifty gainer at this point in time. And you get a sense that there's a bit of a bargain buying taking place because it's corrected some 20% from its highs. So ICICI Bank, the problem with ICICI now is that just like 1,000 was a massive support for ICICI Bank on the way down, on the way up, it becomes a big resistance point. And if you start seeing selling pressure over there, that would tell on the market as well. And as of now, the Nifty has opened only 23 point higher. So the bulls can still make money through the day if the market goes up in the second half. I think this is the kind of start which the bulls would actually like. It's not a big gap up which the bears can sell into. So I think the second half possibility of Nifty at least testing 6100, 6125 once at least remains open for the
My
time
sense is that people will go light on banking stocks and ICICI today. Will want to lighten the positions they already have because there are two big numbers coming in, IIP and CPI numbers. Both have a bearing. I mean, until now we used to discard IIP as unimportant, but now growth is such a big problem for the banking stocks, so much of a concern that more companies can go into that tip over as bad loans, that even IIP is being watched very closely to indicate is there even one small sign of green on the screen that will give them a hope that NPLs will not enlarge or expand from here on. As well, CPI numbers, if they don't go by Rajan's well-laid path, he wants to see them go down from 10% to 8%. So if that 9.87 CPI reading of December goes down to 9.4 or 9.1, that will be very positive for the banking stock. So today both the numbers are going to be important. They come at 5:30. So today I guess you will have to stay light on positions.
And I will also just raise my top 10 stock, which is Onmobile Global, and that's up close to about 10%. So it's moving towards the voluntary open offer price of 40 rupees. This is a stock which has been a stark underperformer. So maybe markets are quite enthused that it's got an exit opportunity at 40 rupees per share. Onmobile Global, if you just see the chart in the last 1 year, it's not gone anywhere. But these are how our top 10 stocks are doing at opening. So HCL Tech continues with its rally from yesterday. As Anuj was pointing out, Bharti Airtel as well has rebounded. So that's up. Tata Steel is under pressure, concerns about its debt. Zee Entertainment, MSCI rebalancing, Nestle as well. It's up close to about 0.6%. The other stocks like Onmobile, Orchid, JK Tyre, Mangalore, and the railway stocks, so all of them are buzzing in trade quite handsomely. So looking good. This is how our top 10 has fared.